Hey guys, welcome to an improvised video of a conversation about where we're stuck in a car for 7 hours, so we might as well do something productive. We have Rudy at the wheel and Isaac in the back, and if you see him a little dark, it's just because that's the light angles.
Or that's my skin tone.
Or his skin tone, that's fair. You know, we were in the sun for much longer than we thought we would be.
Yes.
Maybe 24 hours. We're coming back from a hiking trip in Amarillo, and we have some fun stories, maybe not.
Canyon. The hotel was Amarillo.
Yes, the hotel is in Amarillo, and
the hiking trip was in Canyon.
The hiking trip is in Canyon.
Palo Duro.
Yes, Palo Duro.
To be specific, yes.
I mean, we don't necessarily have to talk about our experiences on the hiking trip, but I mean, if you want to start with anything, I'll open the floor up to you guys.
I mean, what was your favorite part?
Oh, it's gonna have to be the scenic views, just the sights you would see. Honestly, hiking trips, I feel like they are made so you can experience nature at its greatest. And I gotta admit, I was told that Palo Duro State Park was gonna be like a mini Grand Canyon. And if that's gonna be what the Grand Canyon is gonna be like, but in a much bigger sense, I'm gonna love the Grand Canyon when I finally go one day. I absolutely love it. Like
100%.
It's so great. Like you have no idea. If hiking is a little, scary, might be a little dangerous sometimes, but I would say go for it even if you feel like you can't do it. I would say go for it just so you can see what we're talking about. So do it. It should be on everybody's bucket list. I think it should be on everybody's bucket list.
I think one of the moments where I was like, wow, this is one of the best views we're ever gonna get was when we were stuck in the cliff.
Yeah.
When we were stuck in the cliff and we were like, okay, let's just calm down, sit down and think about what's going on. And I looked up and I saw what was going on. And it's like, we're in a really dangerous location, but the wildlife and everything is just so freaking beautiful, you know? Like I really appreciated nature right then. I mean, I appreciated nature the whole trip there because like the views were, or the whole hike, because the views were amazing. But like right there when our hearts were like low-key pounding and we were like low-key scared of how we were gonna get down.
Yeah.
I think that was like one of the best moments to appreciate what's going on. Actually, I have a little story. It's a Buddhist story after it. But Isaac, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, I mean, my favorite part was also, I like how we experienced a lot of unexpected things. Like trying to take shortcuts to get to a different trail, which was not a good idea.
We saw bobcats. We saw mountain goats. No,
yeah, climbing a mountain to try to get to the other side was not such a good idea.
Not a good idea.
Also, like staying after dark and getting lost, walking like 7 miles in the wrong direction was was also not a good idea. But it was fun, We were prepared. We had flashlights, so that kind of helped us out.
Right.
I think those things were my favorite.
And that's the thing too. Like, you can never over prepare. Like
exactly.
When I was thinking about this, I'm like, okay, what do we need? We need a first aid kit. We probably are going to need flashlights because one of the goals was to see the stars at night. Unfiltered, unpolluted, night light. Like, okay, we need lights. If we get sick, we might need some pills. Whatever it may be. Water and these things, like snacks and stuff. I think a lot of people don't prepare enough. They're like, oh, okay, it's like 7 miles. I can walk 7 miles. But when you're going up and down and the sun is like just pounding on you, it's really easy to feel exhausted. But what the story I was going to say is, so there's a guy at the edge of a cliff. And there's a guy at the edge of a cliff and there's a bear chasing him. So he has no choice but to jump off the cliff. At the bottom of the cliff, though, there's 2 lions waiting to eat him. All right, so he's standing at the edge of the cliff and the cliff breaks and he's holding on to a branch on the side of a cliff. If he gets up, the bear's gonna eat him. If he lets go, the lions are gonna eat him. And he turns his head over and he sees a strawberry on a vine. He gets the strawberry, eats the strawberry, and he says, damn, that's the best strawberry I've ever eaten in my life. That's the story. Sometimes we forget the little things in life so much so that it takes us to be in a very dangerous situation for us to appreciate the little things. So we were at the edge of a cliff, not knowing how the hell we were gonna get down, and a little scared. And that's when you look up and you're like, whoa, look at this view. Like you can see the whole park from here,
Yeah, because you always have 2 options. You either have a positive attitude, or you can get frustrated and scared and let that take over. And then I can ruin your experience, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not having a positive attitude.
I think one of the good things we did during the trip too was make sure our moods were pretty high up. It's like, how do we feel from 1 to 10? And what's making us feel there?
Too.
Yeah, and what's making us feel there? Because we were pretty much a 7 the whole time when we were lost. I think the whole other time of the trip we were probably a 10.
Oh yeah.
10 out of 10. But like when we were lost, we were probably closer to a 7, and mainly it was exhaustion and stuff. But like making sure like the people you're with are good is really important.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that is definitely one of the biggest things. So it's the reason one of our moods were particularly like 7s is because I feel like we maintain calmness. We maintain sanity in a way.
Yeah.
We were lost, and I feel like I know a lot of people that if they were in that predicament, in that situation, they would freak out. And that's something we did not do.
We did not freak out.
We didn't freak out.
We did not
like
freak
we just
out.
kept this like, okay, so we evaluated our choices as we did it, and we just like, hey, maybe this is the right way, but you know what? Let's try to keep on going and see if we can find the right way. And it's like, so even if we mess up, there was always something. So like we could say we will mess up, but there will be some fix to it. There was always a solution following what we said, like following how we would evaluate. And I feel like that is a very good strategy towards maintaining like steadiness. So steadiness, calm, maintaining composing yourself, like maintaining composure.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is what's key to situations like that. But I mean, as you're hiking itself, it can be tiring. Not gonna lie to you, it definitely can be
exhausting.
tiring.
It's definitely exhausting.
But maintaining composure and like being able to do that, you can do it. Your body can actually handle a lot more than you think, believe it or not. But I'm just gonna say is like, yes, just try to, even if you think you don't have have it in you to go hike because it's so amazing.
Even if it's a small trail, because like we were there for 2 days, and the lighthouse trail we did was easy. Like it was really easy.
It was easy.
It was a very established trail that like had no interruptions. You had to climb maybe a little bit, but it was like almost nothing.
And the hard one though, I think like one of the most important things was like our teamwork and communication though.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot of times where there was some cactus that you could fall on.
Yeah.
You had to call those out. Or slippery rocks,
Slippery, yeah.
There's often we were walking
locations.
really close to the edge when we were thousands of feet in there. It was really dangerous.
I don't know about thousands.
Bro,
I'm local. Nah.
Yeah,
You said
bro.
thousands.
Thousands? I think it was
Thousands?
a couple, 2,000-3,000 feet in there.
I don't know.
You know what?
Yeah, it
Maybe
was.
3,000. It might have been 3,000.
Yeah, it was
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, and what's scary is, like even when we're walking through those like slippery ass rocks, it could be so easy to slip down, and you look down and it's like a patch full of cactuses and then a steep, decline down. So like it's just staying composed and stuff, and that's really important.
There's never a need to rush things.
Yeah, because there was parts where we were like jogging and running and stuff, but like we were pretty cautious about where we were doing that. Like when we got to like the literally edge of a cliff, like on the side, like something you would see in a movie where you're like literally on the edge of it, on the side of a mountain or whatever. Those were the times where we were really cautious. But the other times, we had fun with it.
Yes, we had a lot of fun. Not gonna lie to you, which is another reason why you should. It's like it's not gonna be just it's like so you can see what nature really is about. You actually have a lot of fun too if you're with the right people. I'll give you that. You have to be with the right people. People that are like-minded and can maintain are like you basically pretty much.
Yeah, you know what?
Something
Something we really enjoyed. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
something we really enjoyed was not having signal. Well, me and you didn't have signal, but
Yes.
something we really enjoyed was not having signal. Because like we were able to like tell our families, hey, we're okay, and then just keep going.
Yep.
At the end of the night, we were like, okay, hey, we're back, we're okay. But the whole time, we could just keep going. And like, of course, we took pictures. Our first day was more of a model day than the hiking day. Honestly, we were motherfucking posing, but yeah, we were posing, but it's just like soaking everything in. And I know we had a conversation before about like living in the moment and like trying to soak in as much as you can. And I think this trip was like the best balance of how to live in the moment and also make core memories and also take pictures so you can like show what you've been doing.
Experience.
Yeah, and I think one of the things I would recommend is like even if you don't go necessarily hiking, like get out of your comfort zone in some way, shape, or form. Because like this was kind of new for all of us. Like we had been hiking before.
My first time ever.
Yeah, we had been hiking before, so like we had an idea, but this was like completely different than anything we had ever done. So like even just doing something different to appreciate nature, you'd be surprised how like that just like refreshes your whole body. Like we're gonna come back into like civilization. You know, I think better people, honestly.
So I was gonna add is like, so yeah, it is different to what we're used to. I think the biggest thing for me is so whenever me and this guy went on our first hiking trip, it was literally 10 miles in the kind of just a lot more south of Texas. We're still in Texas, by the way. We're still in Texas.
Yeah.
We're 7 miles. We're like 8 miles away.
How the hell do you go?
8 miles.
How do you go?
8 hours.
Yeah.
Away from our homes, but we're still making it. But point is like we went towards the south of Texas, and right now we're at the north of Texas. Texas is huge. Texas is like northern Texas is a lot different than South Texas. I can tell you that now. But in a way, they are similar because you know the hiking trails and like the way they've established. I would say that you know the way that hiking trails are made are very very similar no matter where you go. But at the same time, like I've only explored hiking trails in Texas.
Yeah.
So
That's one of the biggest differences between Big Bend and
the wildlife and the scenery. Big Bend was
wildlife.
much more green, much more green. But I gotta tell you, some parts of the trail we did yesterday were very similar to Big Bend, except you know instead of shrubs, they were bigger trees.
yes.
But you know, Big Bend is amazing. And
also a lot more water, I imagine, right?
no, we didn't see water, did we, in Big Bend?
Nah, we didn't see water.
Really?
Not in the trail we did, but I know Big Bend has specific water trails. And
There's
that's one of
kayaking
the,
there. Or
yeah,
whatever.
there's kayaking there. But one of the things that I like really wanted to see more of was water during this trip. I don't know about you, Isaac.
Yeah, me too. I mean, hearing water, especially like out in the wilderness, laying down next to it, maybe taking a nap, it's probably an experience of a lifetime.
Yeah, you know what? That nap you suggested,
Oh,
that
yeah.
nap you suggested was perfect. It hit the motherfucking spot. It hit the spot.
It did.
Hit the spot. It was so good. Honestly, we might have gotten a little bit sunburned. Well, us two, except for this guy. But
Yeah, I
it
put
was worth
sunscreen
it.
on.
I'm not gonna lie to you. A nap is a lot better than the sunburn. Like either you'll heal from a sunburn.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying.
No, just
It's
like
okay.
just laying
So
down.
that nap was good.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but like just laying down with the breeze hitting you
Oh, yeah.
in the sun, you know, it was unreal.
Keep in mind, this was at the end of that first trail that we did on the first day. And so like people could like look down from where they were gonna like at the top of the trail, the peak of the trail. They could just look down and they saw 3 guys sleeping. So I can imagine that some of them might have taken a picture, you know, kind of at an angle, and they could have caught us in the background, maybe. Or you know, they were like over there, and it's like, look at those 3 fools over there. It's like over there sleeping and stuff. So I'm just imagining, but I'm just like, hey, that's kind of funny. It's a funny situation to be in.
I don't know. I gotta say that moment right there was like really feel like we were living our best lives. I mean, this whole trip was really like best life, peak energy type shit. But
Yes.
that right there when we took a nap and then we woke up and we felt rested. Oh my god.
Well, amazing.
Yeah, 100%, 10 out of 10 would do again.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
And you know, like keeping music on us too. Like we were playing music the whole way there, trying to like keep the spirits high. You know, making jokes, cracking jokes or whatever. Like turning everything into a sexual innuendo and stuff. You know, those are the things that like keep us going. You know, I saw a lot of people by themselves or as a family, but they looked a little upset. And I don't know.
Serious, right?
Yeah, they were pretty serious.
Maybe they were just tired though.
Yeah, it could be.
It could be that.
And that's also the thing. You gotta like mentally prepare for that.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Did you like have to mentally prepare for that, Isaac?
That I what for what?
For this hike?
For this hike, I mean, it's kind of what I expected. Like at least the second day. The first day, it did seem like very simple. I didn't really get tired. It was very short. I think the first trail was maybe like 2 miles.
Yeah, it's probably 4 miles.
2 miles in or something like that.
Yeah.
The second one from yesterday had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of curves, a lot more rocks and like obstacles. So that was really fun. I think. I mean, the second day was probably my favorite day. More of what I expected on a hiking trip, to be honest.
I'll add that the second day was what a hike. Well, in my experience, the second day was a lot more of what hiking should be like versus that first one. But hey, someone got great pictures, great pictures. So I'm just gonna say it might be a little worthy because like to take a really easy one and like kind of just like be a model at that time. Also, something you do notice as you're like taking pictures, it's like you're just like, maybe this angle works, so you become a little bit more of a photographer. But then you also do gotta be a model at the same time, because you have to pose differently, and y'all understand the idea. So
yeah, I'm gonna have to start charging off for these pictures, because they were really good angles. I mean, obviously half of it, or let's say a quarter of it is the person posing, but I think 3/4 of it is the person taking the picture.
Yeah.
You know, like to find the right angle, to get everything right. God damn, finally,
the right amount of
finally
background
finally the road calmed down. Yeah, finally
Like-
smooth road. You know, I feel like there was a lot of road noise when we were talking
I'm
earlier.
not gonna lie though, like I think Rudy had like maybe at least 50 different poses, bro.
Yeah,
he
you know
always
what?
changed it up.
Rudy, you're a good model, bro.
He is.
You're a good
He
model.
is.
Yeah.
thank you.
We always just had the hook 'em or just arms
Right, we
crossed.
always had something. He had different
This guy,
poses.
yeah.
I mean, I got a few good
We got a
poses
few-
of you
we got a
here and
few
there.
good ones,
Yeah,
yeah.
we have
Hey,
we have good poses.
we
there.
got good
I got the
pictures.
best one last night of you, but we'll keep that to ourselves. We'll keep that to ourselves. Hey, what happens in the hotel room stays in the hotel room.
Okay, clarification. I was very tired.
Yeah.
There's this
You're
there's
very
this like
tired.
little like bench thing
Yeah.
where you can like lay down on.
Hold on 1 second. Hey, that's what happens when you improvise a video.
That is what I'm
exactly.
doing.
That is exactly what happens when you improvise a video.
So there was this little like bench you can like lay on, and the point is that I decided to lay Billy first because my back
Well, you
was
got
a
on your
little tired.
knees first.
Yeah, I got,
Got on his knees. Huh?
and then
Just on
I
your
laid on
knees.
top of it, belly down. And point is, I fell asleep on there for like what 10 minutes, maybe a little bit more.
All we're saying is we're not judging. Whatever you're into, we are 100% supportive. But that angle right there was definitely giving us some.
Yo, I
hints.
fell asleep on my elbows.
Those are the,
I fell asleep on my
Yeah,
elbows.
that was.
And you know,
How
funny
did your
thing-
head not fall? That's
I
my
don't
question.
know.
No, but he honestly he looked like he was resting.
Yeah,
Like it honestly
for
did
sure.
look like he was resting. And that's
I
the
was
thing,
tired.
like maybe part of that was because we got lost and we like walked an extra 15 miles up and down. So we were exhausted. But that's one of the things you have to keep in mind. Like you will be exhausted at the end of one of these.
For sure.
You will be exhausted. So like plenty of sleep, plenty of water. It's going to be like really important for sure.
I feel like water definitely is key. Stay like something we definitely could have come better at is hydration as we were coming up, like on the
Yes.
drive up here. We could have worked on that, and we didn't. I didn't necessarily feel dehydrated, but my friend over here could tell you a very interesting story about what it was like whenever he got like dehydrated. And the reason I'm saying dehydrated like that is because he told him, it's like, hey, you're a little dehydrated. And it's like, how do you know? Tell him the story.
So apparently, when you're borderline dehydrated, you start forming salts in your forehead, and also you drop your phone all the goddamn time. But that's a different story. No, so
As we were saying before,
as
the
we were
phone
trying
fell,
to say before the phone fell,
And overheated, and overheated.
and overheated.
Yeah.
Apparently, when you're dehydrated, your body produces salts on your forehead and cheeks, and so Isaac told us that, and I went ahead and went like this and
yeah.
tasted it, and yeah, you could definitely cook with the salt that your body produces on your forehead.
Well, it could be dehydration, or it could also be, it could just mean that you're like a heavy sodium loser. And like in situations like these, I think it's called like hyponatremia or something like that. I don't know if you've heard of it. Basically, you have like really low levels of salt, and you can start experiencing like nausea and headaches and really big fatigue.
That explains a lot.
That explains your headache.
I thought I was
So-
just a
and so-
generally salty person, but here we are.
And so, sweat, I think it contains like 1 to 2 grams per liter.
Oh wow.
Or something like that. When you go hiking, you're gonna lose more than a liter, especially if you're going on really long trails like we did yesterday, right?
This is why you bring smart friends with you.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think this is part of the reason why like they recommend drinks like Gatorade
Yeah.
instead of just plain water, because it'll give you part of that sodium. And given Gatorade also has carbohydrates, and that helps you with energy intake and
Yeah,
sodium
yeah,
intake
yeah.
and stuff like that.
Again, this is why you bring smart
there's
friends
that.
with you.
So there's that, yeah.
Yeah, but I think one of the things we should talk about, or not yet, but like to transition moving forward, I think one of the things we should talk about are some of the, oh my god, that car got tagged.
Yeah.
One of the things I love about road trips is the shit you see on the side of the road.
I've never seen that before.
Right, like
Yeah.
there's just a stop car and it got tagged. Somebody rode all over it with spray paint, and then we passed a toaster earlier that no one wanted to stop for.
We
You
saw a
can't-
toaster.
You can't pass up a free toast on the side of the road. But anyways, to transition forward, I think one of the cool things about like going on hikes is like also the experiences with other people. Like you just see the other people. Like you see people that aren't prepared. Not that you're judging them or whatever. Or, I mean, maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. But But like the people that aren't prepared, you know, like the parents that bring their children on these like crazy ass walks. Oh, that house is just like mine.
It is.
Right? You know, the parents that bring kids, then the kids are like obviously worn out and exhausted, you know. You see a little bit of everything. You see like people that are like really trying to reach a goal, you know, people that are actually on like a personal challenge and that kind of stuff. One thing I noticed is that like everyone was always really friendly, you know, for the most part.
Yeah.
Everyone that passed by, like say hi.
Most people said hi to us, I think.
Yeah. I mean, we're three really good looking dudes, so I don't see why nobody would want to say hi to us.
Granted,
you know?
I definitely would keep a conversation if they talk to me too.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, because everyone's nice, you know. Like the typical stuff is like, oh, where are you coming from? You know, how's the hike? How far have you gone? How was the trail? That kind of stuff. But yeah, it's nice to see that like other people were like nice.
Yeah, it was really nice. There's also what were your favorite things to see around the park?
in terms of people,
In terms of like sightings, you know. What did you like? I mean, for me, it was like obviously like the different layers look really cool. Right?
Yeah.
Really cool. There was
you
also
mean like on the cliff where you can see like the water and the age
like
levels.
red, red, brown,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah.
It was also really cool. I think there was a lot of like cavern-like structures, and I didn't get far up enough to see them, but I think you did all right.
I got pretty far on one of them, and it looked really cool. Honestly, it looked like a mountain lion lived there. Like like 100%, I could promise you, like something lived there, just because of the way the rocks were set up and like the way it looked like the shade was like cool.
There was a water stream really close.
And there was a water stream literally right there too. So one of the things you shouldn't do is don't get off the trail. Like whatever you do not get off the trail. But if you do and you're playing it safe, you can find some really cool things.
Yeah, for sure.
But don't get off the trail.
okay, so sorry for bringing it back to the people thing, but yeah, so something that we definitely noticed is that some people have different cares and needs whenever it comes to their kids. Because there was this one family where they were like literally just having their kid walk all the way. You can visibly tell the kid was tired. He was
and there was a little kid, you know?
It's a little guy. They're like little kids.
Like 10 years max, I think.
No, that kid was like 5.
You think so?
5 or 6.
Okay.
That was a little kid. Yeah. No, chiquita la cosita.
Point is that you know they just have them walking the trail, and they're exhausting now, honestly.
Yeah.
And like as a little kid, you know your legs they're a lot smaller. You're not gonna.
They were tired.
You're not gonna be able to walk a lot. So it's like they just have them like walking the entire trail, and they just have them like held by their hand, and sometimes not even held by their hand. And point is like they have them doing that. While it isn't necessarily bad, I'm just saying it's like they could have done better. In my opinion, I feel like a main thing about parenting, if you're gonna take a hiking, is like, hey, do you need water? Are you hungry? Do you feel like you need food? Do you feel like you're gonna stop at some point? Do you like questions like that where you need to ensure the safety and make sure that your kid is well maintained? Wow, that sounds bad. Well, okay, your kid is okay.
Yeah.
Well, there was these other families where it's like the father.
Make sure your kid has a fresh oil change, new fresh set of tires.
Yes.
A lot of
Change
the
their
time they
blinker
don't know
fluid.
though. Like they don't know if they need to drink water.
They don't because they don't talk to them.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah.
That's the communication.
So you should just, I think they recommend like 10 ounces every 20 minutes. You should just give it to them because maybe they say they don't need any.
Yeah.
Maybe they say they don't need any when they really
But they do. Yeah. Same thing with pets too. I saw a lot of dogs. And
yes.
the thing about dogs is dogs are some of the most relentless animals we know. They will not complain about anything. When they're in pain, when they're thirsty, if they see they're beside you and they feel safe, they will not complain. So, you know, one of the things I thought was really cool is, I don't know if y'all noticed, but some of the dogs had little booties on.
I didn't notice.
Yeah.
Yeah, their paws, they're so sensitive. So.
Yeah, their paws are extremely sensitive. So, yeah, if you're going to take your dog anywhere, put some booties on them. Because, or her.
Plus the floor is sometimes it's hot. It wasn't hot in this instance when we were hiking.
Well, spiky too.
And spiky, yes. But the heat, so yeah, make sure you take care.
Yeah, we were
shoe.
walking just on the trail, and I got a needle about that big, just a thorn, like right up my shoe. Like,
And we
where
were
the hell
trying
did
to take it
come
out.
from? Yeah.
We couldn't. It broke. It broke. So funny thing right now. So we were looking for a way to hold the phone, and so I had a multi-tool in my car this entire time, and I forgot about it till now.
So as prepared as we were, we didn't have any like tools or like a knife or anything. And when we were trying to record, the phone keeps falling because it's just on the windshield. And we opened the glove compartment. It turns out we had a multi-tool right there that had everything we could have needed. But you know, we live and we learn.
We live and we learn.
Yeah.
I don't know how I forgot. I'm not 100% here. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. That's all I gotta say.
Hey,
you
But
better
we
be
made
here.
it.
You're
We made
driving.
it.
You better be here. You're driving.
Like I just suddenly shut down.
Yeah. But that's exactly how I shut down when I dehydrated. So going back to dehydrating
Yes.
again, I was like, I stood up in the middle of class, and the teacher was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I don't feel so."
I don't feel so good.
I was out for like 5 minutes, at least 5 minutes, because when I woke back up, I was in the hallway, and people were just staring at me, like. Obviously, that's a good excuse to miss class when you're a freshman in high school. But I was like, "Can you please stop staring at me? I'm very vulnerable and subconscious right now. I just passed out." And then you go to the nurse, and the nurse is like, "Are you pregnant?" And I'm like, "Ma'am, are you kidding me right now?" She's like, "Well, a lot of people have issues when they're pregnant." Are you kidding me right now? I need water. It took her an hour to get me water after I was dehydrated.
Damn.
Damn.
That's true.
But that's a story for a different day. One of the other things was
We thought we would see a lot more animals on this hike, and a lot of hiking trails do have animals. Not gonna lie to you.
when we went to Big Bend, we saw bears.
We literally saw bears. So
We
there's
saw
that.
deer here.
But mostly what there was here was deer, and there's a lot of birds actually.
They were nice looking deer too.
Yeah,
they were nice looking deer.
Yeah.
Los
And
tamalitos de venado.
yes. Point is, there's a lot of deer, and there's a big variety of birds here too. So, and just know that whenever you experience that hiking, like also something you experience is the wildlife too.
There was actually a bird watching area. Remember?
Yes, there was a bird
I
watching.
said like it was the biggest sport in the United States or something like that.
Really?
That's what
I
I
said something like that, yes.
Something like that. I don't know. I don't remember exactly, but
The biggest something in the US.
Big.
Yeah. There is a lot, so that's something you can look forward to if you finally want to get out of your comfort zone and go for a hike, you know. And yeah, some of them are pretty far, but I feel like you can do that in a lot of other places that are just closer to your place, wherever you stay, wherever that may be.
I think one of the things we did pretty well was manage our diets. I don't know if that makes sense because, well, you know, I like
Light breakfast.
I like,
for the most part, no?
but okay. So
Oh,
I think
yeah.
when people go on these type of trips, they like go into extremes. You know, like we brought snacks, so we were like never hungry. But like some people go into extremes. You know, like they won't eat all day or whatever. Like for me, I have a really high caffeine tolerance because of the stuff I do. We'll keep that to another episode of another video. But you know, because of the things I do, like you know, drink energy drinks, drink pre-workout. You know, those have really high caffeine levels. So like, I will not function if I don't have caffeine, you know, and that's one of the things, like, before we even started, I'm like, you know, I have to have a cup of coffee or something to hold me over. Because, you know, that, you know, the withdrawal effect from not having caffeine, coupled with the exhaustion, low water, no food, that's just, like, that's a recipe for disaster. So, like, if you do stuff on a regular day basis, your body, like, is used to that. You know, we like routines and stuff, so your body's used to that stuff, you know.
But you, a disaster? Nah.
I'm an angel. I'm perfect.
Absolutely perfect.
Absolutely perfect. You know what? We might not even be recording.
What?
No.
Surely we are. Surely we're recording. Yeah, we're recording.
Okay.
Just making sure. Our phone overheated last time, so we had to stop. But yeah,
we're
good.
recording.
But any key like takeaways from this trip? You know, one thing, and I know I've been talking this whole time. I do apologize. And Isaac does have a voice. He's just very shy, I guess.
No, I have been talking.
Yes,
Yeah. I mean, more than last time. The last
time
video,
I probably
the last
said, like,
video we
2
recorded,
words.
you said 2 words. But you know, one of the
Nothing to
things,
do with what we were talking
it had
about.
nothing to do with what we were talking about. That's fair though. You know, conversations go all over the place. One of the things I really enjoyed, and I know I sound like a broken record for a lot of this shit. Pardon my French or Spanish or whatever language you wish to interpret that in, is the philosophical questions we have on the way here and on the trip.
Yeah.
You know, like we'll ask, okay, what is the meaning of life, and then we'll go on for like 20 minutes talking about different things. You know, I really think that's a lot of fun. At least to me, it's a lot of fun.
Rudy?
I'm good. I just didn't realize I was going that fast.
We're not gonna say how fast we're going.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We are not gonna say how fast we're going.
I just saw that.
Yes.
Yes.
Someone was getting carried away.
Yes, someone has a heavy foot.
To be fair, everyone around us was going that fast, and now that truck is thinking we're racing it. For sure. Now that truck is definitely thinking we're racing it. We probably would.
Point is, another thing is like something we actually recall back. He mentioned living in the moment. This is key to living in the moment. And so for us too, yeah, like how you mentioned also is like it was also the fact that we didn't have signal helped us live in the moment too. Like it was actually there whenever it was essential. When we were at the very, very top, whenever we actually wanted to talk to our families and show them what there is there, it was actually there. It was perfect. So that's a very, 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 very good balance. A happy medium for sure of living in the moment of having technology and just experiencing. There's just so much, and that view at the very top. Oof.
Yeah.
I just gotta say, wow. So my favorite view actually was just pretty much where it was just like pretty flat. And there was just a bunch of grass and a bunch of shrubs and like.
Well, that was the top, literally the top of the mountain range.
The top
literally
of the
the top of the mountain.
So that was kind of my favorite view. It was just like completely. I wouldn't know how to describe it exactly. You just have to experience it yourself.
You have to earn it. That's one of the things me and Isaac were talking about.
It's like, I guess the biggest takeaway was, it's always worth it at the end. You probably hear that a lot. Like along the way, we did face a lot of obstacles, difficulties, I guess you could say. At some point we were tired. Rudy fell a few times.
next time we go on a trip.
I cut myself every single time.
Next time we go on a trip, Rudy's coming in bubble wrap.
Yeah.
My hands should be in bubble wrap for real.
Yeah, and like we got to the top and it was 100% worth it. And even when we were lost afterwards, and at the moment we were like, okay, this is not good, whatever. We weren't in a bad mood.
No.
But we were like, okay, I wonder where this is gonna go,
Yeah.
And afterwards, for me at least, I feel like I built some core memories and things that I'm always gonna remember. Like this is gonna be an experience that I'm always gonna remember for sure.
Like we really felt like we earned it, like all the way up there, and like the running and the hiking all the way up there. It like as we were talking about it as we were going up, it's like, damn, we really feel like we had to earn this. When we were walking on top of the mountain, we were seeing this. Like, you don't just show up and see this. Like,
you can't drive up there either.
Yeah, there's a satisfaction. Well, there was tire marks, so somehow somebody.
There was no one that went up there for 3 hours.
And we were by ourselves. That whole trip, we were by ourselves the whole time almost. So it's like you really, really have to put in the effort to get an amazing view like that. And I think one of the recurring themes that was like going on, and I know I looked at you a lot and said this, was we really feel like this is like peak life right now. We're doing like best life shit right now. Because it's just, the general mood and everything, was amazing. But since we talked about getting lost, I think we should probably end this pretty soon on. We'll end this on the key takeaways of how we got lost for 15 miles and. I don't know, upwards of 6 hours of being lost.
Okay, we got lost, but it was not that bad. Plus, the sky looked beautiful.
Honestly,
dude, you could see you could clearly see the stars and everything. Like it wasn't like the best. I'll admit it, but like light pollution, light pollution itself.
In general,
it's just not. It's not that great over here. Like I'm not gonna say it's non-existent, but it was good. And so honestly, I feel like back in our homes near
Houston,
point is that we're not exactly able to see that. Like we could actually see the moonlight, and the moonlight would be good enough. It was bright enough.
Yeah, to see the path you travel.
So I mean, I'm just saying, I don't think that'd be possible over there. So key takeaway, I would say and just for this, it's like what I'm talking about. This key takeaway is we are damaging the earth a lot, and light pollution is a bigger matter than you think. That's my key takeaway. Yeah. Isaac?
I think I said this earlier, but I think communication played a big key in the getting lost. There were some points where it was really dangerous. We were really close to the edge, and there were slippery rocks. And I would say, hey, watch your step. You can mess up here, and it would be tragic.
And this was at night in the dark.
At night in the dark,
with the winds
very windy,
bashing us. Yeah.
Very, very windy.
Did you say probably 30-mile-an-hour winds?
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
It was very strong. Like I think it was moving me to the sides, bro. It was pretty strong. Given I am pretty light, so.
No, they moved me too, man.
And also on the way, like, also I'm pretty sure nobody here wanted to step on poop besides Rudy.
I made sure to step on every single poop that this guy announced.
I would call out a poop and I'm like, hey, be careful, there's a big piece of poop here.
And sure enough,
Rudy, you made sure you stepped on every single one.
Every single one. I made sure they smelt it when we were in the car.
Okay, wait.
So.
Yeah, communication was key, I think.
Yeah. So, what happened was, when we got to the top of the mountain, let me make sure we're still recording. When we got to the top of the mountain range, that guy want to come in too?
Yeah.
When we got to the top of the mountain range, how many times am I going to say that before I get to the story, right? We wanted to stay there to see the night sky and the stars and such. Oh, we're fucked, aren't we?
Yeah.
Pardon my French. Yeah.
Sound good.
I thought he would slow down. To be
Yeah, I
honest.
thought he was going to slow down too. Fun times road tripping. When we got to the top of the mountain, we wanted to stay there to see the night sky and the stars because, like Rudy said, light pollution is crazy over there. I mean, look, the 12-0. Light pollution is just so crazy in the cities. Like we saw the night sky with the moon light.
Just the moonlight.
Yeah, just the moonlight. Like all the constellations. I'm a big space fan. I'm an avid space fan. All the constellations. I think we're gonna be stuck in the same scenario again.
Yeah, we're gonna be stuck in the same. Just
You know, like different constellations and stuff that I'm a really big fan of looking at.
Yeah.
That you just wouldn't see. You know, like that gives you a different appreciation for how beautiful the night sky in the world is. So we were walking down a 3-mile trail at night. And there was a lot of detours, a lot of shortcuts and stuff, and
a lot of splits.
There was long splits
We had to make
too.
a decision to go either right
Yeah.
or left, and we didn't know which one was the correct one.
Right, we didn't know which way was which, so we ended up. Oh, my dad's calling me. And let me see if I can answer him in a little bit. Hold on, can you send an automatic test? Sorry, I can't talk right now. There we go.
Point is,
And
there's
we're
a lot of
still recording.
splits, and we were going pretty fast too at the same time.
In the
we
dark.
wanted to get home.
Yeah.
Oh, keep on. You're telling the story.
Okay, well, yeah, we wanted to get home, and it was in the dark, you know, so we got lost, and we ended up going an extra 2 hours in the wrong direction.
For real.
Right? So, you know, by the time Rudy, thank God Rudy, called it out, and it's like, well, are we sure we're going the right way? We realized we were like on another trail, at the end of another trail, and for a little bit we were like off the park too. So, you know, like that experience was crazy. It's like, how did we get that lost? But like keeping a good mindset, you know, the will to get home and take a hot shower and get some food, and the communication was extremely important. And if you're going to do something like that, you know, if you're going to make those judgment calls and say, you know what, let's stay here till the night, make sure you're prepared and make sure you're in the right physical condition. Because I keep saying this, I don't know if anybody else in another physical condition, in the condition with, like, not that we're like super strong and buff and in shape, you know, and, you know, just models, which I think we are, but that's a different story. I don't know if anybody else would have been able to make that, you know, just staying in the right mindset, and like physically it was tolling on our bodies because we walked an extra 15 miles up and down in the wind at night as it was freezing.
Mentally, though, a lot of people I think would be frustrated.
Yeah, it was, and it's easy to get frustrated when you're like, dang, how could we have gone so far and gotten so lost? You know, that just, you know, it adds up on things, and I think that really shows like a strong will in all this.
Okay, so yeah, we definitely did like a marathon hiking, just letting that to be known right now.
Yeah, and so, you know, and it's even worse in the marathon because we were going up and down, you know, and
how
like
many miles was it? It was crazy.
I clocked in 26 miles the last time I checked, and then at midnight it reset it, but by midnight we'd already gone like 28, and after midnight we walked the 2 miles on the road to the car, so we were cutting it pretty close to 30 miles. Yeah. Which is insane.
Marathons at 26.2 miles.
Yeah, so I mean, it's definitely a great physical feat, and it was a lot of fun. But any last closing remarks so we can, you know, wrap up this video? My phone doesn't overheat and I can call my dad.
Just thank you guys for inviting me to this trip. It was awesome.
I'm really glad it came together. Really.
Yeah, so closing remark is just get out of your comfort zone, please. Maybe don't do the decisions we did.
Stay on the trail.
Yeah, stay on the trail.
Stay
And
on
if
the
you
trail.
think anything is kind of dangerous, if it's
It
your first
is.
time at least, if you think anything is kind of dangerous, it actually is dangerous. So don't do that. Stay on the trail. Make sure you're well prepared. Hydration is definitely a key. I feel like you can be hungry a little bit if you want to, but if you need food, if you feel like you're a person that gets hangry, so you can do that. Make sure there's food, but like hydration definitely is key. Make sure you're well equipped.
The last thing I'll add before I say thank you and everything is keep in mind what shoes you're wearing. You have no idea how crazy it is to walk 30 miles if you have the wrong shoes on. Thankfully, we all had good shoes, right? But like, please wear, you know, adequate shoes for this. You know, hiking shoes are going to be the best. I 100% recommend. But like, just keep in mind what the hell it is you're going to be wearing, because your feet are literally everything, and you have to take care of them in order to survive. Other than that, I'm really happy this all came together. I'm glad we were all like open for a hike. Ever since I did my first one, I was 100% sure I wanted to continue doing more. And this one was exactly what, so when you think of a hike, you have a picture in your head of what it is, and this lived up to the picture. And very few times in my life have I had circumstances and experiences lived up to what I had in my head, and this is one of them. So I'm very happy that I can spend this time with you. Very sad Luis couldn't come with us, but we're young and we'll have more experiences later on.
A lot more experiences.
Yeah, and I'm very happy that you guys agreed to have a conversation in the car with this loud ass road in the background. Hopefully we can edit some of this out. But I'm no computer genius, so I'll do my best. Anyways, thank you guys.
Thank you.
And we have another 6 hours on the road.
Peace.